Hey Hofstra fans, welcome inside the WB Mason Coaches Report with Abby Morgan. I'm Anthony Barrett, joined by Abby Morgan, the head coach of the Hofstra women's lacrosse team. Coach, thanks a lot for the time. How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Doing pretty good, Coach. You had two games this past week out in California. You made a little bit of a long trip with the team. First, let's just talk about the weekend as a whole. You had some team bonding activities planned. How do you think it went in terms of that, where your team became a little bit more of a family?
We're hoping, even with two losses from the weekend, it was a team bonding in the sense of we need to do better. But there was very much a, this is the fun part, this is the business trip part, and we didn't take care of what we needed to on the field. But hopefully it is something that will fuel us and say, we don't want it to feel like we did out in California. It was definitely a trip that was tough on everyone.
Now you had two games. Friday you took on Denver. You went down early, made a little bit of a comeback, but ultimately you came up short.
Yeah, it was a game where we just put ourselves in a hole quick. I think it was 6-1 at one point pretty quickly, and we started the fight, started to get the train moving a little bit, but it just wasn't enough. I mean, if we had a couple more minutes in that game, we might have been able to put it on even more of a push, but we really ran out of time.
And then you took on Cal. The first game was also at Cal on Friday. Then you took on the Golden Bears on Sunday. You end up losing by 4. What did you see from your team in that one?
We gave up a lot of shots, and gave up more goals in the first half than we've given up in a long time. And our chances, we got a lot of shots on our attacking end, but didn't land them, and had a lot of chances where we just didn't shoot well. And those kind of add up when you have missed opportunities on the attacking end and a fast break goal that goes in. That confidence goes down, and I think that we didn't again turn it on until probably 5 minutes left, and we scored 4 goals in 5 minutes. So we have the ability to do it. We've just got to do it from the start.
Now, in years past, you've kind of had those run stoppers on your team, either with their play or maybe with their voice out on the field. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like you have that player right now that if things are starting to slip, they will take control and get everybody together?
We've seen it in spurts here and there, and it's been from different people. I think that Lizzie Zorovich is doing a great job of being a solid part of our defense, and she is very boisterous and can get on the team and motivate them. So she's been doing everything that she can within her ability. But that's the one right now who's been a consistent force in terms of that. We really need that player on the attacking side to have that fight to get the ball and have that fight to put the team on their shoulders, and we haven't really found that yet.
Now, your student athletes are taking midterms either last week or this week, and you reached the midway point of the season over this past weekend. So let's hand out some mid-season report cards, so to speak.
Right.
You can give them an A, a B, C, D, wherever you'd like to go with it. We'll start out up front on the attack line.
I would say that our attack has been just very inconsistent. It's been up and down, and we've definitely shown flashes of brilliance, and as a unit, but also as individuals. Sometimes the unit is a little off and not really on the same page. I would say C right now. They are we're trying to work to find that niche of those people who are going to play together well all of the time, and we just have not found it yet.
Now in the midfield, that's another unit that has shown flashes of being extremely electric. You've also had some injuries, and you went with a little bit of a different lineup this year, starting more midfielders than normal. What would you give them?
I would say staying in the C, B- range. We have done a good job on the draw sometimes. The transition game has been great some days. And we really have the ability to push fast break and get those easy goals and push transition, and we've done it at times. And I do think that our midfield is getting a lot better on the defensive end, which I think is helping our defense be stronger. We just need them to put the ball in the net a little bit more on the attacking side.
And we're going to break the defense now into two parts. We'll get to Jackie Pandolf and the goalie situation in just a little bit, but the close defense, you brought up Lizzie Zorovich already. What would you give them?
I would say they're in the B+ range. I mean, they really are doing as much as they can. I think there's definitely some lapses here and there, but they play off of Jackie, the next piece. You know, when the defense does make a mistake, you know, Jackie backs them up, and the other way around. So the defense has been our most consistent piece, and you know, they're the ones who are executing more than the rest of the field.
And Jackie Pandolf now has started every game for you this year. You've also seen Kelsey Gregerson, your highly touted freshman, get into 2 games this year. But Pandolf is averaging over 11.5 saves a game, playing just as well as she did really last year, giving your team a chance to win most of the time. What would you give her?
She's been doing a great job. I mean, I would say B+, maybe into that, you know, maybe 90.5 for the A-, but she really has been doing a great job, and it's tough because I think sometimes that our team relies on her, you know, to make the save, and maybe defense just that little more extra that they could prevent that shot from going, and you know, that's one part where it is a little bit of a disconnect where you know, we can't expect Jackie to have 20 saves a game. We just can't have that as an expectation for her. She can do it if it happens and if it's needed, but we need to give her some relief and have the ball on the attacking end more. So she's doing as great a job as she can. We'd love her to get a little bit more animated and a little bit more vocal, demanding a little bit more from the rest of our team and from that midfield and attack unit to really save her when she's been saving them.
Now, you just came back from California on Sunday after the game, so that's a long flight. What is your plan for practice this week to make sure that the team gets their legs back underneath them after a long flight like that, but still ready to go?
Yeah, it is going to be a little bit of, you know, we gave them off yesterday. We actually got in on the red eye yesterday morning, so it was a tough day, and we said you got to get to those classes, you know, so hopefully recoup maybe an hour and a half of the time difference, but get the lactic acid out. You know, always after a flight you have to do a little bit more or a long bus trip, but you know, really practice-wise, preparation for this next game is a lot more about our toughness, our mental game, our consistency, because our strategy and our X's and O's and our talent is there, but sometimes, you know, our brains kind of keep that from us and keep that from being there on game day. So we're trying to be as creative as we can to get game day and practice day.
Jackie Pandolf suffered an injury on Sunday, so she's going to be out of the lineup this Thursday against Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
Kelsey Gregerson is someone that you brought up even in the preseason as someone that, if Jackie ever struggled, you wouldn't hesitate to put her into a game. So why do you think she has so much potential?
She's a definite athlete. She's very instinctual. She's very quick hands, and I think honestly, I mean, if there was a time for this to happen, it would be now, because Kelsey has been doing a great job in practice, and she's really been stepping up. You know, and as a senior, you kind of get your bumps and bruises, and Kelsey's been stepping in there and doing a good job. So we're very confident in her, and she's starting to get her voice on the defensive unit, and that's been a big plus, because that's very important for our team, that our goalie has a voice and is the director of our defense.
And what have you seen out of Ohio State in preparation?
They're a fast team. They're a fast break team, and that's going to be our biggest challenge, is slowing them down. And I think for us on the attacking side, it really is taking advantage of every opportunity that we have. And if we miss shots, we get them back, and we get multiple opportunities. That really has to be our focus, and we have to have the ball more. You know, we had a lot of shots. We had a lot of shots in Cal. I think we had 28, which is the most we've had all year. We're going to land them. So doing a lot of shooting this week.
And it sounds like you may have already hinted at it with the tempo, but what do you think is going to be the big key to victory?
It is going to be a slowing them down. That piece is going to be very important, because they like to run. They're athletic. We're going to have to slow them down and limit their amount of opportunities. Give Kelsey some ones that she can handle to start the game. And I do think as well, kind of the overall piece is our first 5 minutes. Our first 5 minutes are going to be really important, because we can't put ourselves in a hole like we've done the past 2 games and start playing when that second half comes, kind of when the game's on the line. We need to put ourselves in a good position to win within that first 5-10 minutes of the game.
Now you bring up the early stretch of the game. How important is it going to be that because this will be Kelsey's first start, that she can get some saves under her belt early on, maybe get a little confidence and get to a rhythm?
Yeah, it is very important for goalies just kind of get that first save in there, and we really harp on our defensive unit to give our goalies something to handle. Make sure it's not a foul in an 8-meter center hash, and make sure it's something that is no angle and a weak shot so that they can handle it, a contested shot. I think also for our team, we need to have our attack get some confidence for Kelsey and have the ball and land some opportunities early on in the game, win the draw control, win those ground balls, because I think that's something that Kelsey is a kind of amped up personality. If she feels that and sees the team succeed, I think that she'll be in even better mental state.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot and good luck this week.
Thank you.
And thank you, Hofstra fans, for joining us inside the WB Mason Coaches Report with Abby Morgan.